Facilitating Group Discussions Part 1, Icebreaking and Encouraging Students to Speak Up. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Tanya.
Welcome to this 6-part series that will build your skills and confidence as an EMI teaching assistant. The 6 videos are broken up into 2 general sections.
Facilitating group discussions.
And handling question and answer.
Today's video is on how to encourage productive group discussions.
Yep, we will first talk about how to break the ice.
Then we will talk about how to encourage participation.
Lastly, we will give you some advanced sentences for deepening discussion.
I can't wait. I remember the first time I had to walk into a class and facilitate group discussions as a TA. I didn't know what to say or how to help students who were just staring at the table. I felt a little awkward, invisible, and unsure of what I was supposed to do as a TA.
Yeah, sometimes the students don't know each other very well and they don't feel comfortable talking English. Trust me, we've all been there.
But here's the good news. You, dear TAs, are in the perfect position to add your energy to those conversations and help students find their voice.
Yep, we'll share some basic sentence structures for beginner level groups and more advanced phrases for when students are ready for deeper conversations.
So let's start with a key question. Why does facilitation matter in EMI settings?
Let's start with the scene we were just talking about. The students are supposed to be discussing in small groups, but all you hear is crickets chirping.
Now, don't panic. This doesn't mean that your discussion is a failure or that the students don't care. Let's try to be more positive. Oftentimes, they're just not sure of how or even where to start.
There are many reasons for their silence, but think about it this way. Students are like unopened soda cans.
Their ideas are there, bubbling away with potential, but someone just needs to give them a gentle shake and a safe space to open up.
And TAs, you are that someone. You're there to make sure they feel safe and comfortable enough to engage in their group discussions and move forward.
So, how do we crack open the conversation? First strategy, break the ice without freezing the mood.
The first strategy you could employ to facilitate in-class discussion is ice-breaking. To break the ice is an idiom that means to overcome the initial awkwardness and help people start talking and feeling more comfortable.
A good and effective icebreaker is an activity or question that can turn that awkward silence into genuine curiosity and ease people into the conversation.
Here are some icebreaking questions your groups can answer. First, please introduce yourselves. Say your name, your major, and where you're from. Or, what languages do you speak? Which one do you dream in? Or, what is your favorite food from your home country? Or, everyone in your group can give a personal example before you start.
It's a great idea to use icebreaker prompts that are relevant to the class. We suggest brainstorming a few before you begin the lesson. For example, what's something you found interesting in the lecture? Is there anything that confuses you about the topic?
Ice-breaking questions help the groups relax and will enable them to participate in the activity more effectively.
If students still seem pretty quiet, here are some encouraging statements you can say to encourage more participation. It's okay to take your time. Just share whatever comes to mind.
You don't need to be perfect. Just try to say one thing.
You can start with something simple, like your opinion or experience.
Would it help if I gave you a question to start with?
Each of these sentences aren't there to just fill the silence. They serve as an opening and an invitation. You're saying, hey, we're all nervous and anxious here. This is a safe space to try, not to impress.
And your first attempt to help might come out a little clunky. I once said, so, are you talking or just thinking about it? Total silence. But then I laughed and said, sorry, that sounded weird. Let me try that again. Would it help to start with introductions? And it actually worked. They laughed with me and began talking.
That's a great example. It's okay to fumble.
And don't forget your non-verbal signals. A relaxed smile, open posture, and gentle tone can do more than any sentence.
These all work together to show the students you are more of a teammate than a professor.
On to the second strategy, encouraging participation.
Once the ice is broken, your next challenge is encouraging participation during discussions.
First, identify the most shy students in the class. These students likely are sitting in the back and avoiding eye contact with you.
Gentle encouragement can be a game changer. Don't put them on the spot, and don't force it. Invite them gently to participate.
Here are some low-pressure and simple ways to invite students to speak up. Brian, would you like to share your thoughts?
Katie, do you have anything to add?
There's no right or wrong here, so what do you think?
It's okay to speak slowly. Take your time.
Even a short sentence is great.
Don't worry too much about the grammar. Try to just express your ideas.
Feel free to speak in simple words. It's the meaning that matters.
These phrases lower the pressure in the classroom, and they're like extending a hand to help someone stand up.
Being a TA is very much like a conversation coach. You're not shouting instructions. Instead, you're whispering encouragement on the sideline. You got this.
Or better yet, think of yourself as a gardener. You don't yank the plant to make it grow. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you wait for it to bloom.
Cute analogy. Now on to our next section, advanced sentences for deepening discussion. Now, let's talk about what to say when the students are already warmed up. These are more confident groups who are ready to explore deeper questions.
Here are some sentence structures to gently guide the conversation beyond the surface level to something more meaningful. You all have different academic backgrounds. What different viewpoints can you bring to this discussion?
What's your take on what your groupmate just said? Do you agree or see it differently?
That's a great start. Can you explain your reasoning a bit more?
Don't worry about making mistakes. It's a chance to practice academic discussion.
Try building on each other's ideas. It often leads to more interesting conversations.
These sentences remind students that discussions aren't just about talking, but more about thinking together.
Importantly, these questions encourage critical thinking and problem solving.
Now let's do some role-playing practice.
Let's put it all together with a quick role play. So imagine you walk by a group at the beginning of an activity that's clearly stuck. Complete silence, awkward glances. Ugh.
So what you can do here is first, check if everyone's feeling all right and say, "Hi everyone, how's it going? Please introduce yourselves. What's your name and where are you from?"
Remember to stay friendly and warm.
The activity starts and someone just shares something. Now what?
You could follow up with, "Thanks for your input. What did the rest of you think?" Even a one-sentence response is great.
After their conversation starts to get more serious, you can encourage more critical thinking by saying, "Interesting, you all have such diverse ideas. What's one thing you all agree or disagree on?"
And for more confident groups, you could always invite them to stay curious by saying, "You all have unique perspectives. What's one idea you could add to what your groupmate just said?"
And just like that, boom, you've broken the ice better than the Titanic. You've gone from frozen silence to collaborative reflection in under 2 minutes.
Let's move to our last topic. TA reflection.
Let me ask you something. What kind of TA do you want to be? Interesting question, right?
Do you want to be the one who just sits behind the podium? Or are you the one who walks around, gently opening doors for students to step through?
Encouraging participation and showing students that their opinion matters are core responsibilities of a TA.
For deeper analysis, let's take a look at the summary table.
This is your quick reference guide that you can review before class to feel prepared, confident, and ready to facilitate with ease.
The table is organized by situation, suggested sentence, and a little tip on the tone you might want to use. Please take a screenshot for easy review. These phrases encourage participation in EMI classrooms.
And a warm tone and a relaxed posture can further help students feel safe and supported.
All right, so on to our recap and takeaways.
Please keep one thing in mind. Being a TA is not about fixing the conversation. It's about facilitating it. It's about creating the right atmosphere. When you create space, give support, and encourage voices, you're not just managing discussion, you're transforming it.
Your presence, posture, and language can also shape how students feel in group discussions.
So, keep things friendly.
Thank you all for watching. In our next video, we'll explore what to do when 1 or 2 students dominate the conversation and how to gently bring quieter voices into the spotlight. See you in the next video.